Okay, next. Section 5.0211. Different dangerous goods packed in one outer packaging. All right, so that would be something like, I've got, a bottle of corrosive, bottle of flammable, inside the same package. All right, so there's rules on how we do that. So previously we talked about overpacks, taking, one of these and one of these completely packed, good to go by themselves. Put it into a crate or put it on a pallet and shrink wrap it. That was an overpack. This is a combination package where we've got different things. Kind of like the kit you were talking about yesterday, Kim. A little tube of this, a little tube of that. That's considered a mixed package. All right, so taking a look at the rules for doing all this. Paragraph A, 50211A. You should not have dangerous goods, should not react dangerously with each other. Forming any of these hazardous situations, combustion, evolution of flammable gases, so on and so forth. B, there's table 9.3a again. Let's see. Paragraph D, the inner packaging used for each item of dangerous goods and the quantity contained therein complies with the relevant part of the packing instruction. The outer packaging used are permitted by all the packing instructions applicable. Right? So whatever outer packaging you use should, anything you're putting inside it should be good for all of them. So you might have 3 different dangerous goods with 3 different packing instructions. So the bottom line, package. All right, so taking a look at the rules for doing all this. Paragraph A, 50211A. You should not have dangerous goods, should not react dangerously with each other. Forming any of these hazardous situations, combustion, evolution of flammable gases, so on and so forth. B, there's table 9.3a again. Let's see. Paragraph D, the inner packaging used for each item of dangerous goods and the quantity contained therein complies with the relevant part of the packing instruction. The outer packaging used are permitted by all the packing instructions applicable. Right? So whatever outer packaging you use should, anything you're putting inside it should be good for all of them. So you might have 3 different dangerous goods with 3 different packing instructions. So the bottom line, all 3 packing instructions need to be adhered to. F, the performance, a package as prepared for shipment meets the performance tests for the most restrictive packing group. All right, so this is a performance package, UN specification package. So coming up a little bit later on this morning, we're going to talk about how to decipher all of this gobbledygook on this UN specification mark. All right, so we're going to see that there's X, Y, and Z packaging for the different packing groups. So paragraph F is saying make sure that our UN specification is correct for everything. In paragraph G, Grisinda was anticipating this, the Q factor. You remember it from last time. Q is defined as the paragraph G says the quantities of different dangerous goods contained in one outer packaging must be such that Q does not exceed the value of 1, where Q is calculated using the following formula. Q is equal to N1 over M1, okay, where N is how much stuff am I putting in the box. All right, what's the net quantity? N for net. What's the net quantity of the chemical I'm putting in? And M is the limit from the blue pages. All right, so let's do a calculation. Let's do an example. Okay, go to page 227. All right. So let's say if we were shipping the chemical methyl cyclohexane. All right. And let's say we were going to be shipping this cargo aircraft only. And let's say I wanted to ship 6 liters. So let's say that's all I had in the box. Would I be okay? Did I put too much chemical in the box? You're allowed 60, so I'm fine. So in this case, no problem. I didn't put too much stuff in the box. What Q is all about is making sure we don't put too much chemical in the package. All right? So the M in this case would be 60 liters. I don't need to do Q for 1. But let's say I throw a couple other things in the same package. So let's say I also threw in some methyl dichloroacetate. All right, so let's say I had, I put in that same package 22 liters. And the same package, I put in methyl ethyl ketone. And I have 30 liters. What's the limit for cargo for methyl dichloroacetate? 220 liters. How about methyl ethyl ketone? 60? All right. All right, so plugging this into Q, where Q is equal to N1 over M1 plus N2 over M2, et cetera, et cetera. So Q is equal to 6 liters over 60. All right, so plugging this into Q, where Q is equal to N1 over M1 plus N2 over M2, etc., etc. So Q is equal to 6 liters over 60 plus 22 liters over 220 liters plus 30 liters over 60 liters. Units cancel out. And in this case, I set this problem up so the math is fairly simple, where 6 over 60 is 1/10. 22 over 220 is 1/10. 30 over 60 is 0.5. Add these fractions up, and I get 0.7. Did I put too much stuff in the box? Right, it can't be more than 1. So I'm under 1, so I did not put too much stuff in the box.
Where did the 1 come from?
In the yellow pages, section, thank you, paragraph G on page 333.
Okay, so it can never exceed 1.
Right.
So that's it.
That's it.
Q factors always can never exceed 1.
Q can never exceed 1. That's correct. Okay, when I chose these, I carefully selected which ones I chose because there wasn't any compatibility issues. All right, I chose methyl cyclohexane and methyl ethyl ketone are hazard class 3. Methyl dichloroacetate is a 6.1. There were no compatibility issues. From table 9.3a, these are all compatible. Okay? So that's the deal with that. Right? There will be a problem like this on the exam. We'll do a practice problem in a minute, but there will be one like it on the exam, so just be aware of that. If you need extra help with a calculator, we got piles of calculators here to help yourself to do the problem. Any questions on that?
Well, we need to work on it a little bit more.
Right.
I'm not getting it 100%.
Okay. All right, so remember that. Just remember, N is how much you put in the box. I got a bottle with 6 liters of this, another couple bottles, 22 liters of that, 30 liters of this I want to put in the same package. Now I'm going to go see how I'm shipping it. Am I shipping it passenger or am I shipping it cargo? Cargo aircraft only. So this problem, we said, okay, it's going to go cargo aircraft only. So then you have to make sure you look in the correct column on the blue pages. In this case, it was column L. Column L in the blue pages is the limit for cargo aircraft only. If the problem said passenger,